Our veteran Randy Wood was part of the Vietnam War and has so much to say about his experiences, his life afterward, and many more. Not only was he fighting for his life, but took many risks. We sat down in an interview and asked him many questions. He had told us he grew up in a military family. His grandfather fought in the Civil War and his father fought in World War I. He told us about how he got his degree in sociology, sitting with his daughter at the UVA Medical Center, got drafted twice. We asked him what was his biggest pet peeve. He had told us his biggest pet peeve was seeing people die in front of him and how people who were in the war complained about them. They called them baby killer, woman killer, and how they didn't understand the fear. He also said, war is war. What can they do? His obligation was to gain freedom in the U.S. because other countries didn't have that. From the interview, we gained so much new information we never thought we would learn. One thing we got from this interview was what he told us. He said, make sure you stay in school because with our generation, it's all about technology, but also lead by example for the future generations.
Well, my middle experience is when I was on guard duty. We were guarding Highway 1 over there, and all the time we were getting snipers. That's the enemy that comes in and tries to blow up your buildings or blow yourself up. So the most exciting thing is when we were on guard duty and that happened. We had snipers that came in, but they were at my bunker lines. They were down below me, and unfortunately, the guys on duty were asleep, and they came in and unfortunately, I hate to use the word kill, but they did. They killed all four of us, and they went in and blew up one of the buildings. But the worst experience I had is we got rocket attacked all the time. And one night we got rocket attacked really bad. We had bunkers, but we had to get in. And so we took classes, journal classes, and I got my degree in, I love sociology. My daughter got her degree in sociology, so I got that when I was there. When I was in the service? Twice. Well, once in Vietnam, then after I came to Vietnam, I went to Germany. I was stationed there.
What was one of your biggest pet peeves of doing?
My biggest pet peeve was people here dodging the draft and going to Canada. You know, that was my biggest peeve right there. You know, I've always been a military family. My background goes way back to the Revolutionary War. And to see someone here burning their draft card and talking about us, like, you know, and the bad part about it is, you know, we were called baby killers, women killers, but war is war. And you can't help, there are civilians going to get killed. And there are civilians, you know, and that's my biggest fear right there, is that the people at home did not understand what went on over there because he just passed away about 6 years ago. And he never got to see this. He lived right around the corner from me. And he never got to see me doing the things I'm doing today for veterans. With American Legion post 74.
How did you like
Well, I didn't have post-traumatic stress syndrome. I didn't have like a lot of my fellow soldiers did, but the war didn't affect me that much, when I got out because I could adjust to civilian life really easy, and I really had any problems. The good thing about it, it made me a better person. It made me a better person to respect, people in general, and I think that was my main goal when I got it, that I'm going to treat people better than I want to be treated, and that's just what I did. I have a lot of friends all over the United States, and that's just me, and that's just how I feel about things. Well, I have a duty to my country, and that was part of it. I have. Well, I have a duty to my country, and that was part of it. I have an obligation to serve my country, to keep freedom here, so everybody can enjoy the freedom and independence they have here, because other countries don't have that. I mean, I see things over there that would turn your head as far as what went on over there with the civilians over there. I'm sorry, no, what now? After I was home? Well, I worked. I worked for the VA. I lived in Georgia for 3.5 years with my first wife, and I worked for the VA for a while, and then I wanted to move back to Virginia because I was homesick. Georgia's fine, but it's not for me. So I moved back here, and then I got a job at UVA at the medical center. And my first wife, she didn't like it. She left and went back to Georgia. And then I met my second wife here. She was a nursing student at UVA at the medical center, and that's how I met her. Kind of funny little story. Okay, you don't have to record this one. Positive about life and about the people that I deal with on a daily basis. I learned a lot about what it's like to have camaraderie with my fellow soldiers there, and basically just everybody getting together and getting along together, because there were different nationalities, different ethnic groups, different religious groups there, but we all were one. We didn't worry about who we were or where we came from or the color of our skin or anything. We were the same individual. People have got to remember that we all bleed the same blood. It's all red. And that's the most important part with all of us, is that, regardless, like I say again, who we are or where we come from or what we do with our lives before and after we were there, it doesn't make a bit of difference. We were there for a reason, and the reason was to look out for each other and keep ourselves alive at all times, if possible. Yes, we had a chapel there, and that was a big part of my life, because God has always been a big part of my life, and so is Jesus Christ. And when I got baptized, that I did it right there. And over there, being a religious person like I am,